Prince of Persia: Two Thrones is the third installment of the Prince of Persia trilogy. Now, I have reviewed this game before in the trilogy of the Prince of Persia games review I've done, but I didn't like it too much, so I'm doing it again with Two Thrones, because I didn't think I did it any justice. Then again, I never did the other two games any justice either. Let's just focus on this game for now. The game starts off just a couple weeks after the events of Prince of Persia: Warrior Within. You and Kailina are on a boat and you are about to get into Babylon. Finally get to Babylon and you're under siege because Babylon is being taken by, guess who? The Vizier from Prince of Persia 1. Because that guy refuses to do anything nice. And speaking of not doing anything nice, he brings an entire army and then turns them into sand monsters and then turns himself into a sand god. You can't win with this guy. However, the story just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, there are characters such as Farah who, in Sands of Time, has been to the Maharaja's temple, but for some reason, in Two Thrones, she claims she's never been. And it's very odd. Anyway, enough about the story. Let's go with the gameplay. Now, the gameplay is very similar to both Warrior Within and Sands of Time. The reason why I say both is because in Two Thrones, your main weapon is the Dagger of Time, which was your offhand weapon in Sands of Time, and the combat system is from Warrior Within. The freerunning has also been changed. Now, it's exactly the same as it was from the other two games, but it's got some additional stuff, such as latching onto walls with the Dagger of Time and having these spring flaps fling you from one side to the other. And the best part about these is that you can do these speed kills. Now, speed kills is also a new concept to Prince of Persia, which, you know, when I first thought of it, I thought it was like, oh look, it's a stealth kill, but apparently you can also use it in combat, and once you're in combat, you're not stealth. Speed kills are basically their version of quick time events, which they don't really mean much. And I kind of feel bad about that, because I found a way to exploit the fact that speed kills are crap. Now, when they added speed kills, I thought, oh, this has got to be a thing you got to do perfectly for some mobs, otherwise it's going to be hectic. No. It's only used for a couple bosses, and everything else that isn't a boss just doesn't matter, because you can just one-shot everything by running up the wall and pressing the attack button. I hate to say that something has potential, because quite frankly anything has potential, but the speed kill system has potential. It had potential, but they somehow screwed it up. They screwed up a quick time event. A thing I didn't mention is in Two Thrones there are two princes you can play as, hence Two Thrones. One is the normal prince, and the other is the dark prince. Now, the dark prince, I feel, is like a stronger version of him, but he starts to lose health every time as time goes by, because he needs sand in order to live. But every time you turn into the dark prince, you need to go down these chains, which comes into some performance issues that I'll talk about later. And if you kill monsters as a dark prince, you get sand, which heals you. Anyway, let's go to performance, because I'm very sure a lot of you might be confused as to why sometimes you see my HUD and then sometimes you see it kind of vanish but still see the orbs. If you turn on the anti-aliasing to the highest, it's required in order to go down the chains, but if you keep it down to the lowest, you can still see your HUD properly, but you can't go down the chains. So you have to sort of switch around. And if you're someone who actually cares about seeing the HUD because it's useful at seeing your health, you kind of need to switch around constantly. That's the major issue I've had with Two Thrones. It's just been the performance of anti-aliasing. If only they fixed it, which is quite funny, because every time Ubisoft makes a port onto the PC, they somehow screw it up. Like every time, now this isn't really an issue per se, but you might get annoyed after a while. Every time you close Two Thrones, Windows Movie Maker opens. I don't know why, it just opens. But anyway, apart from the issues with anti-aliasing and Windows Movie Maker, because quite frankly those are minor issues, because you could have a lot more issues like, I can't actually play the game type issues. But no, instead you can actually play the game, it's fine. It works perfectly fine to a point. But still, I highly recommend this game. It's really fun. I personally think it's better than both Warrior Within and Sands of Time. But that's just me, because I'm very sure a lot of people would disagree with me in the fact that Two Thrones is better than Sands of Time, which they would obviously say not true, but I like my combat, and Two Thrones is less dated than Sands of Time.